my army. I invented a genre of music I call story rock. Some of these guys I haven't met before, they're all going to improvise. And I'm going to tell you stories on top of what they improvise. The stories all happen. So I can't make it up like weird stuff. Like I can't tell you about the time I fought a polar bear, because I never fought a polar bear. But I will tell you some other stories. Welcome to the first Friday at Follies, by the way. And I'm glad you're all out here at the Stork. This is like the birthplace of my Holdaway's army. You guys can feel free to get comfy, get close, take your clothes off, throw your panties at me. Alright. I was 18 and in love with a bad girl. She didn't even know I existed. I'd ask her out all the time. She had nothing to do with me. I was in the middle of the sticks in southern Utah. There was nothing going on. I was hanging out with my roommate, drinking some beers. And all of a sudden I get a knock at the door. I open up the door and there it is, it's Hannah. The chick I was all crazy about with her buddy. She's like, we were in the neighborhood and wanted to see if you want to get drunk. We're like, hell yeah. We invite them in and we're drinking and we're hanging out and we're smoking and it's totally awesome. And then they run out of smoke. And they're like, we need more smokes. Don't ask me why I was like, Terry, go get some smokes. Like, both me and my roommate were like, look out. And we left them there. Because we're stupid. So we're like driving to the store. And Terry's got this like fancy car. It's like a sports car that only sits 2 people. And he's done all kinds of work on it. And he's like telling me about camshafts and rack and pinions and like gauges and stuff. I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm assuming it means the car's really fast. So we like come back from getting the smokes, and he pulls into this parking lot and starts doing like all these like crazy driving maneuvers. And I guess I'm supposed to be impressed. I just want to get back to the girl. So finally we just like floors it. We're like flying down the street. He's going about 100 in a 25-mile zone. And I'm like, yo man, you might want to slow down a little bit. And then there's like lights like come on around us. And I'm like, yo man, that might be a cop. Sure enough, we like pass it, and it's a cop, and it turns on its blue lights, and it like turns around to follow us. And Terry kind of pulls over, but he doesn't slow down. In fact, if anything, it seems like he kind of speeds up. And he turns to me and he says, I had a dream about this the other night. And he pulls back onto the road and floors it. And all of a sudden we're just like flying down the highway. And like there's like a cop behind us. And I'm like kind of crapping my pants because I don't really know what we're doing this for. Like we were just speeding and now we're gonna get like the crap kicked out of us. So he's like flying. And I see like more and more cops like coming out because this is Utah and they have nothing else to do. And so like all of them are just waiting at it. So like we go into this subdivision and we go up this hill that like looks like a lumberjack hill or something like that. And we come down and we're doing these like switchbacks super fast. And Terry's chewing himself out while he's taking the turn, and he's like, you could have gone 2.3 miles faster on that turn. Like, going down this hill, and I'm just waiting to like fly off the side, and like have this like clean sports car be my fiberglass coffin. And we make it down the hill, and I look up, and I can see like all these different blue lights like across the hill. And it kind of looks like a Christmas tree. It's really sort of beautiful. And like, I'm like, wow, that's nuts. And then I see one light just passing all of them. And I'm like, there's one that's going faster. And he's like, oh yeah, that's a 5.0 Mustang. It's actually faster than me. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, but I can be down the corners. No problem. And I'm like, we're coming up to a lot of corners? And he's like, we're always coming up to a lot of corners. So he just like keeps going. And I'm like, that cop gets even closer. So we come around. And as we're about like to get to like freedom, I look in the middle of the road and there's a Chevy Caprice just like parked there waiting for us. And like Terry kind of slams on the brakes, the other one's right behind us. And the gravel shoots through the air. And I can see the blue lights and the red lights from the brakes and our white lights from our headlights. And the gravel's illuminating it all. And it's like fireworks. And Terry just swerves around the car. And I don't know if the cops hit each other or not, because we were the hell out of there. We like go like clear like away from everybody and park behind this house. And then hide the car and get out. And we like start like sneaking back to our house. And there's cops everywhere looking for us. It's like being in like not in Germany or something like that. We're like jumping from bush to bush. And we gotta cross this bridge. And we get up to it, and there's like nowhere else to go, and there's a cop sitting on either side. Terry's like, looks like we're gonna get wet. And I'm like, alright. And we're just like walking through the river. We're like crossing the river, and Terry's like way bigger than me. And I'm next to him, like swirling around, like getting all muddy. And I get to the other side, and there's like this like muddy embankment. So I'm like scrambling up the side. And I'm like exhausted. There's a barbed wire fence. And I'm like, oh jeez. So I'm like trying to climb this thing. And Terry reaches over and grabs the back of my pants. He picks me up and puts me over the fence and like taps me on the back. And he's like, there you go, little buddy. I'm like, thanks, man. And he's like, I ruined my new Jordan. And I'm like, hey, that's how it goes. And we keep walking. And we get to the highway. And now we gotta cross the highway on foot. So we just wait. And the car's like, and we like run in the middle of the median. And then we like get to the other side. And we like jump off into somebody's backyard. I have no idea who. And we like start like heading back to our house. And I'm like, hey, we left the lights on. And he's like, yeah, that was kind of weird we left the lights on. And we open up the door. And the chicks are still there. I completely forgot about them. And they're like pissed. And I'm like covered in mud. And we've been gone for hours. And they're like, where the hell have you been? And we're in a small town. And like, word would get around. And Terry's like, not a word. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I can't tell you where we've been tonight. They're like, did you at least get the smoke? And I like reached in my pocket, and sure enough I did. I totally forgot about it. And I'm like, yeah, here you go. So they like take off. And like the next day, there's this cop that like gave me a ticket for throwing a snowball. And he comes into where I'm working at Taco Bell. He's all like,